Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. In the middle of the night, I got up to do some reading, and it was -8 here in Northeast Ohio, and it's warmed up to a brisk -4. So I have on my fingerless gloves here and my scarf, plenty warm in the house here, but with the theme of it being literally freezing cold. So I have a really fun book for you. This is what happens when you don't get to know a book till a day before you go live to read it. But it's called Skippyjon Jones Cirque de Olay by Judy Schachner. Did the illustrations as well as the writing. It has lots of Spanish language, which I learned a lot of Spanish when I do Che Guevara for the past 2 or 3 years. It's also got a lot of wicked rhymes. It moves very quickly, and it's a little bit long. So I'm going to play the show opening, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get into it. And it should be a really fun ride. I'm going to do my best to do this thing perfect without getting tripped up. Play that again. It ended on its own. Thank you for Tanya, for designing that. Tanya has she's stepping way back from a lot of this kind of stuff. She's got a lot of new exciting stuff going on. So she'll be with me sometimes for some very special books that are coming down the pike. So let's do this thing, shall we? Skippyjon Jones at the Cirque de Olay. I'm telling you, we're in for a ride if you don't know these books. So here we go. And that made his, it helps if you start on page 1. There we go. Skippyjon Jones was a real high wire Henry. And that made his mama as worried as a worm in a wading pool. Oh, my fleas, wailed Mama Junebug Jones. Come down from that wire before you break all your bones. Oh, he can't hear you, sang his sisters, Jujubee, Jezebel, and Jillyboo, because Skippy's up in squirrely world. The girls were right. The kitty boy was performing tail-tingling tricks on the telephone wire above them. That's amazing, gushed the girls. He should join the circus. Circus berserkus, groaned his mama. I'm calling the fire department. Fire department, repeated Jillyboo. Skippy's not on fire. He's on a wire. Skippy's on wire. So, those of you who knew Will and Grace. But before Junebug Jones could press a button, the kitty boy did a triple spin backflip dive right into Mama's apron pocket. That was really good for a Chihuahua, said Jujubee. The word is Chihuahua, said Mama, frazzled. And he is not that. Skippyjon Jones is a Siamese cat. Then she lugged her catch of the day back to his room for a timeout and a big talk. So, and that on fire, that's not from Will and Grace. What do you think you were doing up there? You and those squirrels on a wire in midair? What if you tripped and fell on your head? You'd have to spend months in a hospital bed. Then, as Junebug Jones pawed at her hives, she let the truth slip about cats and 9 lives. I wish we had 9, but we only have 1, so think about that, my Siamese son. Then she closed the door. A put upon mama. That's what Junebug Jones is. A put upon mama. So far, so good. Here we go. The kitty boy was thinking, all right, about bouncing on his big boy bed. Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones, and I don't have 9 lives. So what's the big deal? How did I just see flies? Indeed he did, and he chased one over his mirror. Oh, yeah, there's going to be singing and a little bit of rapping and all kinds of fun stuff going on with this book, folks. So far, so good. Here we go. Where he ate it. Holy smackito, acclaimed the kitty boy. Loved them crunchies. Then he looked into the mirror and using his very best Spanish accent, he said, if I have but 1 life to live, muchacho, let me live it as a Chihuahua. In less time than it takes a flea to fly to Florida, Skippyjon Jones put together a fine costume while he sang in a muy, muy soft voice. Oh, my name is Skippito Fresquito. And I'm one handsome daredevilito. I'm physically fit, every part, every bit just right for a circus puchito. And he's clapping while he does it, but I'm trying to hold the book. There he is. You really got to get this thing. There's so much going on. In the meantime, over in the sewing nook, Mama was attempting to have a sensible conversation with the girls. Where is Jillyboo's tutu? Asked Mama. The Chihuahua has the tutu, replied Jujubee. Whatever for? Asked Mama. Because Chihuahuas wear tutus, said Jezebel. And cows wear mumos, added Jujubee. And boo-boos wear band-aids, continued Jezebel. And I need a nap, said Mama. Again, the put upon Mama, this poor lady. But the Chihuahua wasn't thinking tutus, moo-moos, or boo-boos. He was thinking of flying through the air with the greatest of fleas, just like the dog on the flying trapeze. Whoa, coming at you. Yikes, that's fun. Until thump, he planted his paws in a perfecto landing on the turf outside the Cirque de Ole, shouted his amigos, los chimichangos. Hola, hollered back Skippyjon Fresquito, the great acrobatito, to his barking buddies. Hold your ponies, Papito, declared Poquito Tatito, the smallest of the small ones. Have you grown a bigote? No, I did not grow a mustachito, answered the gatito. It's just part of my costume. Bueno, said Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones, because we need you to grow something mucho más importante. But what can be more important than a mustachio, muchachos, Skippyjon? Los musculos, said all the papitos, not the lumpitos giganticos, declared Skippyjon. Oh, sí, muchachos, said Poquito Titito, they're muscles. Then Don Diego pulled an old circus poster right out of his right ear, and he let it unroll. Now do you get it, dude? He's in the Dingling Brothers Circus, and he's going to have to pay his dues. Skippyjon, palito, patito. Oh, I get it all right, said Skippyjon. It means I am low dog on the totem pole. This made the Chihuahuas twist and shout. Oh, yes, that's right, Skippyjon. Your cabeza is just what we need, oh. Your muscles must grow just in time for the show, or else we will look crumbalito. Then all the perritos snuck under the skirts of the big top. First, the muchachos tipitoed by the cabalista practicing on her pony. Then they slipped past the payeso, putting his paper-popping puppy through his paces. Say that again fast. Then they slipped past the payeso, putting his paper-popping puppy through the paces. But it wasn't until they reached the elefante that the papitos had to worry. Watch your step, amigos, warned Papico Totito. We are about pulgas to her. We are not fleas, said Skippyjon. We are Chihuahuas. And that wasn't all the doggies had to watch out for. They saw leones and tigres and osos, so my. But the most dangerous animal of all lay sleeping like a baby in his cage. Let's take a peek, Papito, said Skippyjon. Let's just take his traje, suggested Poquito Tito. Not his costume, declared Skippyjon alone. ¿Por qué? Because it will look mucho major on you, senor. Then they raced like rabbits over to their dressing room. There's the leones and tigres, and there is the where is the osos? The bear. There. And then they got all the thing here. What does it say here? Putsy Struggleboot, the strong dog, 80 pounds of mean mad muscle with a meatball for a brain. Let's meet him, shall we? But the circus waits for no dog. So, with the speed of a spitball, the Puchitos changed their Chico into a world-class circus pero con musculos. First, they gave him a vitamina. Then they pulled on his new traje. It's too big, complained the gatito. No worries, with Don Diego. We will pump you up. If you remember that from back in the day when Saturday Night Live was funny. And Pump the Perro steed singing, "Oh, papa, papalito. We'll give you them muscles you need, oh. 'Cause strong you must be for the triple TP, so we don't all go boom tambalito." Then it was the moment of truth as they floated Skippyjon up under the big top, and suddenly the book gets vertical. Perros poured out from every point and piled on top of Skippyjon's grand cabeza. Up, up, up they climbed until they formed the perfecto tower of tiny trembling Chihuahuas. And beneath the tower stood the power, tough and shaky as 5-day-old Jello. But just as the pups were about to make circus history, look at this guy. Chihuahua, Skippyjon, Papito. What happens? Oh, the book is upside down. Ah! Putsy Struggleboot, the strong dog, strutted out into the center ring and bit the behind of his very own traje. Remember, that means costume. Ole, shouted the crowd. Oh no, cried Skippyjon as the tiny trembling tower of power tumbled from his head. Ta-da, blasted la banda as Skippyjon flew up into the rafters like a punctured balloon. Woohoo, hooted the crowd as the gatito caught hold of El Trapacio. Then he flew through the air with the greatest of squeeze. And the brave little cat on the flying trapeze. But just as he reached the highest point, Skippyjon let go and dazzled the audience again with a double twirly-squirly wrist onto the tightrope. All that practice is paying off for our little Skippyjon Pepito, eh? But the tightrope acted just like a slingshot and whoop! It sent Skippyjon up to the tippity top of the tent and swoop! Down he dove cabeza first into the cotton candy kitten ball cannon, where Pussy Struggleboot, the strong dog, was waiting to light the fuse. Don't steal the costume from Pussy Struggleboot. That's the moral of the story. Drum roll, por favor, ordered Don Diego. El Skippyjon Fresquito, the great acrobato, blasted out of the circus, out of his closet, and right out of his room. Smack-a-doodle-doo, shouted the kitty boy as he collided with his mama's head. Wow, exclaimed Jezebel. Where did he come from? He came from the circus, silly, said Jilly Boo. Later that night, after a piece of maple mouse pie, the kitty boy made up a rhyme just for his mama and delivered it with a most sincere bounce. Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones, but you're the bee's knees, 'cause your cooking is smoking. Hey, did I just see fleas? Asked Mama, beginning to scratch. Circus fleas, replied the kitty boy proudly. Circus berserkus, muttered Mama. Get your collars out, kittens. It's going to be an itchy night. And there he goes out of the cannon with a big kaboom as Elefante watches. And there's Mama and the boy. So that is for you all. Of course, the power of imagination. Skippyjon Jones never did leave his bedroom, but he was in the Cirque du with all of his friends doing all kinds of great stuff. So what do you think? We made it through. Yay. It was very, very good. Let's go grab comments before we sally on in the day. Good morning, Chassie, my friend. Morning, Angelina. Good morning, Ronald. I still have an accent going on here, talking too fast. Ronald, I hope you had a spectacular birthday yesterday. Ronald, our good friend from Earth Radio. You can hear our show Into the Outer Realms on Wednesday nights. Into the Outer Realms Revisit. I can't seem to get rid of that thing. Ronald says, could you imagine the dogs having this conversation? I could imagine it. We all can imagine, and I hope all the kids out there are imagining it, playing around, running around like puppies. Mamas and dads, you're very welcome. Hello to my cousin Susan. Thank you. She gave us the Dave books, which was wonderful. If you have children's books, if you want to hear them, we're always taking donations. This was a donation in a group of books from our good friends Craig Ansel from Three Beards Podcast and his wonderful wife Rebecca. So thank you for making this happen. We got some other books coming from publishers and fun stuff. Next week we do a one for more the little kids. I believe it's about a turtle. Then the next 2 weeks I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do the Jabberwock by Lewis Carroll. I'll be wearing my big steampunk hat for that. And then I'm going to do Casey at the Bat. So I'm trying to mix it up a little. I'm going to find different kinds of things, just then the children's books, some poems and things like that. So thank you all for joining me. If you're watching this on replay, thank you. If you've been sharing it, if you've been spreading the word, as I know some of you do, I deeply appreciate it. That this is great fun for me, working with children in the theater. That's as an actor, as a writer, as a director, as a teacher. That's how I started. So this has been wonderful. This is number 63, 63rd book. We will tell Tanya hi and that you miss her. I think she's nursing a nice cup of coffee in her PJs and getting her morning off to a slow, steady start. So thank you all. Watching this on YouTube, watching this on my Facebook page, and I will see you next week for something probably completely different. Angelita says, like the Spanish accent, thank you. I had to learn a lot of stuff really to do Che Guevara. It's a beautiful, beautiful language. So I'll see you all next week. Take care.